Hello, my name is Meaghan Miner, and this is my public health campaign. Today I'm focusing on air quality along the Front Range of Colorado, which is my home state. The Front Range is a region just east of the Rocky Mountains that surrounds the south along with Colorado Springs and extends up through Boulder, with Denver, the capital of my state, at its epicenter. This is the community where I live, and this, where public health really affects everyone's lives, especially day to day in the air control quality, because Colorado, despite being such a healthy state, has really poor air quality sometimes due to the conditions of our state and our laws regarding emissions and what can and can't go into the air. And this is only getting worse as our population grows because more traffic, more emissions, and more industry boom, to be honest. Unfortunately, the places in Colorado getting the most growth is along the Front Range, which is really great for the economy. However, the air quality is suffering for it. How this works is Denver is just below an inversion layer, which is along the Front Range. Just off of that, you have the planar region versus the mountains, and through here, what happens is all the pollutants get trapped between an area of warm and cold, and that forms what we call the brown cloud, which is like a layer of smog. And it's really obvious on days that it's very cold or very warm. And on these days, normally the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment will issue an ozone warning. Also, it can get really awful when there are wildfires. So Colorado is in a desert region with a lot of forests. And unfortunately, because it's so dry, from around like late spring, early summer to around mid-fall, it's wildfire season. And the worst wildfires, due in part to climate change, have been in the past 10 years, right? And so the smoke from these wildfires spreads all over the state, and the particles are very dangerous to the lungs. So who's affected by this bad air quality, or bad air, so to speak? That would be those with existing respiratory illnesses, the young, the elderly, and frankly, any adult, because if you're breathing in that awful, awful air, you're going to be damaged. Like, your health is going to be affected. And so everyone's at risk unless you're walking around with like a mask or something, which people rarely do. So what can be done about this? That's where public health comes into play. Specifically, the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment, they have a special division called the Air Pollution Control Division, which does great things like keep the community updated, does research, spreads information, and makes public service announcements through radio, through the TV, through signs on the highway about if there's like an ozone hazard day, or like how bad the smoke is from the wildfires, how many particles per million are in that air that day. And so what they do is they push legislation and they make a plan to make Colorado's air quality better. And that's so important because in the community, especially if it's going on for such a long period of time, like there is no break for bad air, because it's either like in the winter you can have bad ozone days, and in the summer you can. So it's so important. And that's why this is public health applies so well here, because it does play in every day. Anyway, thank you.